Hello, how are you guys tonight? My name is Debbie. Welcome to Chalk Pretty Things. Tonight we're going to use this exclusive transfer to chalk a little rustic farmhouse sign. Do you love farmhouse? I never thought I did, but I sure do now. Lots of fun stuff to create with. So this is a reusable transfer. It has silkscreen anywhere you see the white, and that allows our paste to go through. We're using chalk paste onto our surface. So what I have here is I found this frame at Hobby Lobby. It was clearance for $4.24, and I thought I would use it for this sign this way. Now this is kind of an odd sign because there's not a way for a picture to go underneath. It just kind of lays on top. And also, it is an odd size. So, it is actually 11.5 by 7.125. So, you're not going to find a piece of canvas to go under there. You're probably not going to find a ready-made picture that you took to go under there. So I thought what I would do is I would go ahead and color on a piece of watercolor cardstock. And this is pretty thick, very thick I would say. This is 140 pounds. I got it at Hobby Lobby, but it's very thick. So what did I say it was? I'm gonna have to cut it down to size. So 7 1/8, just a little bit over 7 1/8. I'm going to cut it down 7 1/8 long. 7. There's a quarter. There's an 1/8. Okay. So I'm hoping that that's good. And it is not. What was I thinking? As I did that, I was thinking it was wrong. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it the other way. Okay, let's start with the long one. So the long one we said was 11.5 inches long. So 11.5. 11.5. That looks good. Cut it. That's going to be perfect. And then 7 1/8 wide. A little more than 7 1/8. 7 1/8 wide. Seven and 1/8 is right there. I'm going to do a little bit longer than that. Make sure it's even. 7 1/8. Okay, let's cut it. Let's hope we can do this right. As you jump on tonight, guys, please say hello. Let me know you're watching by putting a heart in the comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let's see how this is going to work. This will work just fine. I think I might have cut a little short that way, but it's okay. We're going to go ahead and glue it in there with some sticky dots when we're done. So what I wanted to do, sorry guys, I wanted to make this look a little more rustic, the paper. And you can do that by distressing, or you can with maybe an ink pad, or you can do it with wax or paste or whatever you happen to have. But what I happen to have, I just found these in a drawer stashed somewhere. And I must have gotten them at Tuesday morning quite a while ago, but they are called it's Glimmer Mist with Fine Glimmer. There is a bluish and an orangish. And I'm just going to go ahead and spritz this paper to give it a little bit of color and dimension. And I really like the big dots. I wish I could get more of those. Okay, yeah, there we go. So we're gonna have to let this dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and dry it up with my heat tool. and hope it doesn't curl too much. I've never used these drops before, these mist. I did find it in my stash though, and I believe it's probably from a Tuesday morning. Probably gonna have to clean up my surface too. That's okay. So we are using the Club Couture Transfer of the Month tonight. And if you want to know more information about how to get this, because it is exclusive to only Club Couture members and designers, but you can join the club. It's $21.99 a month, and that includes your shipping. They ship you the 8.5 by, oh my eyes are terrible, 8.5 by 11-inch transfer directly to your door, along with 3 coordinating paste colors for you to create with. So all you need is a surface and a squeegee, and you're ready to go. Guys, I've got something going on with my eyes. It's either an allergic reaction to something I'm using or something. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my surface here before I get started. And this should be a pretty quick project too, guys. This is a very wet wipe. Wow, that was quite a bit of an overspray. Tonight, we're going to be using different colors from what they included in the Club Couture packet. Remember I said that they include 3 coordinating paste colors? The colors they include this month are Bark, which is a brown, Black, which we're going to use, and they also include Sage, which is a green. So we're going to use Couture Teal, which is a pretty blue teal. We're going to use Black, and we're also going to use Rose Gold, which is a shimmer. So even though they give you specific colors that they suggest for you to use, you can switch it up and use whatever colors that you would like to use. Make it work for you. All right. So the first thing we need to do is to put some wax. Since this is paper and our transfer is sticky on the back, it's gonna stick really, really well to this paper, which we want, but when we pull it up, it's gonna be like a sticker on the back. All the paper that it's sticking to is going to stick to the back of our transfer, and we don't want that. Our transfers are meant to be reused between 8 and 12 times, but if we allow that paper to stick to it, it's going to lose all its stickiness because it'll be covered in paper and we won't be able to use it again. So to prevent that, I'm putting some surface wax, which is available in my shop, on the paper, and I'm going to coat it pretty well, hoping that my transfer will not stick and it will release. There's also a benefit to the wax. This paper isn't exactly smooth. It's a little textured, which I love, but that could cause the paste to bleed because the transfer will not be flat on the surface. So the wax also helps with that. All right, so here's my transfer. It's adhered to, I'm going to go ahead and mark the back of this. It's adhered to the backer because it's sticky on the side, on the back side. And we're going to peel this off. Now, the reason why I put an X on the back is because we used to be able to tell which side to apply the backer back on after we used it, because one side was sticky and the other side was not, or shiny, and the other side was not. Now with these new transfers, both sides are kind of shiny, so it makes it tougher to determine which side should go on the transfer. So I kind of mark them up a little bit just so I can keep it straight. I did put one on the wrong side of the transfer once, and it did stick to the backer, and I had to work to clean it up. I did get it clean, but I'd rather not have to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and lessen the stickiness that's on this transfer by applying it to something that potentially could have some fuzz, like a towel of any kind. This is actually called a fuzz cloth, and it's available in my shop, but you don't have to have this. You can use your dish towel, a bath towel. You can use your shirt, your pants, anything that's kind of fabric and you think might be able to pick up a little bit of lint. And this is a brand new transfer, so I'm doing it several times, and I can still feel it sticking pretty good to the towel. Yeah, still sticking pretty good. So I'm going to do it one more time, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with applying it to our paper. So my paper is dry now. It is waxed. I am going to go ahead and center this. Oh, I didn't think about it fitting. Okay, all my words do fit. I'm going to try and get it even so that it's straight. And then I'm going to go ahead and rub it down over the transfer, over the surface. I'm going to rub all the silkscreen area to make sure that it adheres, that it doesn't leave any open spaces for the paste to escape under and bleed. And I'm going to begin chalking. So I am going to do, let's see, I'm going to do my pig and my chicken in black, farm fresh and organic in rose, shimmer rose, and then the teal is going to be my checks. So I'm going to get a couple squeegees. These are our silicone squeegees. They're great. They're kind of beveled on the edge. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with my checkered border. Your paste should be the consistency of sour cream or thick yogurt. This one is right at the tail end of the jar. And I did add some water to kind of loosen it up. And it does look a little thin. We're going to try it anyway. If it's too thin, it might bleed. So we're going to try it. I'm just going to smooth this on here, covering up all the white areas. I'm going to peel it down and check it. And I should have probably put some tape on there. And it looks good. Now it's got some embedded distressing in it. And I just peeled it up to check it. So if I had to repair anything, I could have laid it right back down. And chalked over it. Now this is chalk paste in it's chalk in a paste form. It will dry pretty quick. I do want it to be dry before I put it back down, but do you see how I kind of, my transfer didn't cover the top, and so I have this blue line? I actually kind of like it. I think for the rustic look I'm going for, I think it'll work well. I'm also going to go ahead and do the teal at the bottom, and we'll get that done. While I'm at it, and this is probably going to finish off my teal. And I think I'll go ahead and do the bottom edge like I did on the other one. Make it match, make it look intentional. Only you and I will know it wasn't intentional. I think it will work out. I'm going to go ahead and put any excess I have in here, even though it's the end, and I am going to cap it up. I do need to clean my hands already. I have water wipes right here. So I'm going to clean the paste off my hands, clean up my surface a little bit just because I'm always messy. And believe me, when I make a mess, I'll get it everywhere. Okay, I'm still messy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and peel this up. You don't want that paste to dry in the silk screen. So I'm going to peel it up. It was still wet. If you let it dry, when you go to pull it up, it's going to peel up that paste. So don't let it dry. Sunday night, Sunday night. Did you guys have a fun weekend? I had a very productive weekend. And tomorrow's Monday already. Don't Mondays come around fast? I think bedtime comes around fast. Evenings come around fast. Life just goes by fast. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead. No, I didn't even start this. Let's see. I was going to record this, but I didn't start it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my shimmer rose, which is beautiful. Look at that. Can you guys see the shimmer in there? It's not glitter, it's just a shimmer. And these tend to be smoother and easier to use. This one feels a little thick, but they are usually very smooth. I'm going to go ahead and paste my Farm Fresh. And I'm going to try not to get that chicken, although it might be kind of cool if I blend it a little. Well, I might blend some on that chicken. Kind of ombre him a little bit. I do a little bit right here. Okay, I just did a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and do the word organic. And what you're doing is you're just covering the white area, the silk screen area. That's what you're doing. And I don't want to really get it on my squares down here, but I do want to make sure all that area is covered. I'm going to go ahead and clean off my squeegee, and then I'm going to try and take off any excess that I have on here. It conserves on the paste and it makes it even and easier to remove. Okay. So that is done. I'm going to go ahead and cap this up. We're going to peel this up and we're going to dry it. And then we'll just be left with our black. Simple project, guys. I hope it looks good. Let's see. So I'm going to peel the top. And notice I'm peeling off the chicken. I'm going to move it right back down on the chicken. But I did put paste down there, so I do want to dry it. And actually, the colors of these sprays really complement the colors I chose for this. The blue and the orange kind of look like the shimmer rose gold and the teal, and it does look nice. Okay, I'm going to pick up the organic. We're going to dry it. It's looking good so far, guys. Crisp lines, good coverage. Okay, so when I flop this down to do the pig, I'm just going to let it flop. I'm not going to press it. I'm going to press it around the pig, the grass, and the chicken. Now, the chicken I did already paste some chalk on it, so I'm just going to be kind of careful about it. Make sure the edges are all down around the silk screen. I get my black paste. It's pretty new, so it's nice and shiny and creamy. And I'm just going to apply it over my chicken. We'll see how that turns out. And over my pig. See how this one is just gliding a little easier? That's normally how the shimmers glide, but I think my shimmer is a little thick right now. I could have thinned it out a little more. And the blacks are more highly pigmented than some of the other colors, so they will probably stain your green areas of your transfer. Even after you clean it, it may be stained. That's okay as long as you get it out of the silk screen when you clean it. Let's peel this up and see what it looks like. It looks really good. Guys, look at it. What do you think? See what I mean about that background looking kind of cool? I'm going to lay my transfer down here on my surface. I'm going to lay this aside. We're going to clean this. And when I'm using the black and the highly pigmented colors, I really want to spray this immediately to get it kind of dissolving some of that paste. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper towel, which is buried under all my stuff. And I'm going to do my first pass of cleaning it. I start with the areas that aren't as messy, aren't as pigmented. And then I'm going to start wiping off this black. Can you see how that black is really harder to clean? Look how much came off. So I'm going to wet it down again just because of that black. I'm going to go over it again. Get it started cleaning. And then I'm going to get what's called a board eraser. Actually, this was my old one, and it's pretty much shot. So I'm going to get a new one. And what I do is I have a bowl of water here, and I just kind of soak my board eraser in it. And I actually put my dirty squeegees in there too. And I am just going to squeeze out my squeegee of the excess water and rub it over my transfer. And you can see how much more it's picking up. It really does a great job of cleaning these transfers. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead, pick it up. See how it kind of goes on to the surface? It goes through the silkscreen onto the surface below. I'm going to rinse out my board eraser, flip it sticky side up, and gently go over this side. You want to clean both sides, but this second side won't be as dirty. It was the underside. And you want to go a little easier just to take care of that adhesive. You don't want to really scrub it hard because you want that adhesive to be ready for the next time you use it. I'm going to clean up my counter. And then what I'm going to do is get a paper towel, and I'm going to dry up the sticky side of the transfer just lightly. I'm going to flip this over, dry the top side of my transfer. And I find that every time I go over this, I may get a little more dirty water off, which makes it a little cleaner. I see some teal right there, which isn't going to matter, but oh, it's on my mat below. So see how much dirty water I got off of that from the backside from the final rinse? It was still dirty. So now what I do is I get my backer that it came on, and I know that this is the back side, so this is the side I want to put my transfer back on. And I'm going to put the sticky side down on the shiny side of the transfer, smooth it down, and it's good to go again. Do you see how clean it is? You can see the dark staining around the green areas, but if you look at the silk screen, the white areas, they are clean. So that will allow the paste to pass through another time, actually 7, 8, 9 times. So you can use this transfer over and over and over again. And that's one of the good things about these club transfers is they're so versatile that we end up using these probably 5 or 6 times just demonstrating them every time we get a transfer. So this had a little dot of paste right there, little bump. So then I'll put this back in the container it came in, and it's good to go. All right, let's figure out what to do with this. Now, this frame is meant to go longwise. That's why the hanger's here, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go ahead, even though I won't be able to hang it, I can either put a sawtooth hanger on it, or I can put another type of rope hanger, some other type of hanger on it to get it to stick. Now these are the adhesive dots that came from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to get out 1 pack of these, 1 sheet, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply them to my board. So this is going to allow me to paste down my my design, but I will be able to remove it again. So if I wanted to do something else on this frame, I could do it. And that's one of the beauties of getting things on clearance, is that you kind of tend to think about the reuse and evaluate them from the standpoint of, yes, it won't fit a picture. It's not a standard size. You may have a hard time finding something to fit in that frame, but how could you use it? Could you use it for something that you've done on a piece of paper? Oops, I don't want to do that one. On a piece of paper. Can you use it for cardboard, a cardboard design in there? I actually have the square on this one. So the way these work is they're cut into 3 little squares, and each one has a sticky dot on them. You separate them, and the sticky will stay with one side of the paper, either the clear or the white. And so you just want, if you pull them too fast, they turn into lumps. So I'm not going to use that one because I don't want it to show. So I'm just going to kind of place them around. Here and there. So that my paper will stick. Would you guys have ever thought of doing this on a piece of paper? You could do it on canvas. You could do it on, that one's kind of sticky. I think that should be good. You could do these designs on anything, your little heart desires. You guys, we have a brand new month this month, and with this new month, we have new designs. Chalk has released some kits that are called chalk boxes. And if you've never tried our Try Me kits, they're smaller in size and they're fun. They get you used to the product so that you can experiment with it and see if it's for you. But the chalk boxes are a little bit bigger, and these are full of fun things. They have enough product in them to do 5 projects. There's 2 different ones. One's a farmhouse theme and one's a birds and bees theme. Look at this, guys. I think that turned out so great. I can see a little bit of space on the sides, but it kind of gives it a little bit of dimension too. I think it looks great. Back to the chalk boxes though. They are $100 off retail value for the box. So you get really nice, you get the Aiden board, which is amazing. Some surfaces, 5 transfers, 5 surfaces, squeegee, some chalk paste. One of them has ink. I'm not sure if both do. Really great. So if you want to look into those, I think I have a link for them to look at. But just go to my website and look for kits, and then you'll see them there. You'll be able to take a look at them and see if that's something you want. They're an amazing deal. And they think that the farmhouse one's going to sell out because it's less in stock. It doesn't have as much. They're only probably going to be available through April if they last. So look those up. Guys, look at that. What do you think? I love it. I absolutely love it. If you love it, please give it a heart. If you know someone else that you think would like this, please share the video. Give it a heart. Follow my page. Do all the things. I'm so happy you were here to watch. I'll be back on tomorrow night. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you. Bye.